Worksharing Introduction to Worksharing Setup. Okay, so to begin setting this up, let's open up two versions of Revit. So I've got one open, and let's just go to the second one. Okay, so on one of these, for setting this up, we're going to go to the big R, the application menu, and then go to Options. And this one we're going to call JPolding 2, and the graphics, we're going to invert the background. So the background's going to be black. Say OK. Now on this one, let's just check what this one is. So options, this is JPolding, and then the background by default is going to be white. Okay, so let's start with this user here. I'm going to go and pick up where we left off. So let's open, and I'll do a save as, same as usual. So we'll open up 2213, and we're going to be 2301. So we'll go with save as again, and we'll call this one 2301, Revit building, begin. Then we'll do another save as, 2301 complete. So this is just the setup. What we're going to use as a scenario is maximizing the resources on your computer. In other words, being able to do other stuff while you're rendering. So let's just go here onto our notes, and this is going to be intro to Worksharing, and this will be setup. Okay, so we can just save that. And first thing that you will do, besides setting up all the usernames, making sure they can all talk to each other on the network, is let's go to collaborate, and then let's just click on work sets. Say yes to enabling work sharing. I'll just say okay. This is now what's considered a work shared file. There's pros and cons to this. If you're just a single person shop, a user, you tend to just want to stay away from this unless you absolutely need to. This is the work set dialog box. Right here, you've got shared levels and grids in work set 1. If you do have a larger shop with a number of people, it's kind of unavoidable. So you've got the balance there. But we'll look at some scenarios on both sides. So shared levels and grids and work set 1, they come with Revit. As soon as you activate work sets, these two work sets show up. And pretty much everything is on work set 1. And then if there's any levels and grids made, they're all going to be put on shared levels and grids work set. This, for now, I'd like to just say, okay, that's it. I didn't really do anything. Save what I've done, and it's going to say, hey, you're saving this for the first time. This is going to be a central model. Okay, let's just say, yes, it's a central model. So someone initially is going to have to do this. Now, that file gets closed down, and the users come along, and they say open. They find the file that they wanted to work on, so 2301 complete. And notice what's going to happen here. It says create new local. Now let's just cancel out of this. I'm going to go back into the big R and options, and under file locations, notice this default path for user files. I'm going to click on browse, and I'm actually going to go through and just find the class files folder that I'm working on, which is this one right here. Just right here, I'll say open. This is where it's going to put what's called the local file, and I'll say okay. So now when I say open and I go to this folder, I'm going to click on this 2301. When I say open, it's going to actually create a copy of this file, which is the central, and it's going to put my name behind it, and that is my username. Okay, let me flip back to my other user, which is this one here. And now this user is going to open up the project. So they're going to say open, go to the folder, and they're going to scroll down here to look for this central file. Not this one. This is the first user, this one here. And when I create a new local, it'll create one called by the same name, 2301 Revit Building Complete _ JPolding 1. Okay, so you can see the difference. This background's black. If I flip over here, this is white. Okay, so that's really just the setup. Let's save our locals. So there's first user saved, second user saved, and we're going to come back to these very files. So I'm going to shut this one down. Now it's asking me to synchronize with Central. We'll talk about that later. Let's just close the local file, keep ownership, and there we go. I'm going to go to this one, close, and there we go. Okay, so that's basically setting it up at just an introductory level.